Welcome to an all-new Long Haul Marriage Roadcast.
Well, hello.
Man, what a week. What a week. What a weekend. What a week. Life is busy.
Yes, it is.
Everybody's got birthdays and Mother's Days and birthdays and
end of school.
Graduation parties. We got kids graduating. We got grandkids graduating. We don't have kids, but we have friends with kids that are graduating.
It is a busy
good stuff. Everybody's
season.
busy, and you throw in there Cinco de Mayo. Everybody was celebrating that, and you got storms, and after the storms, then everybody gets out, and so it's either the roads are bare or they're just crowded and trafficky. Anyway, it's been fun.
Guess
been busy.
What's coming up in just under a month?
Our anniversary.
Well,
happy 37, baby.
Yeah, that too.
Happy anniversary, baby. Got you on my mind.
Oh, that sounded bad. Sorry.
That's okay.
That was me.
I could switch to the mind. Happy anniversary, baby.
Got you on my
mind. Come on.
I know. I'm not really in the zone of singing that harmony. I'm usually better. Sorry.
Right. I thought I was just waiting for you to jump in there.
I know.
That was naked.
But it is. Our
Happy
37th is coming
baby. Why am I doing that? It's good. Great song. Now that's going to be hooking me.
You're going to want to go play that on your guitar next.
No, I want to sing it. All right. Well, happy anniversary to everybody out there having their June anniversaries, because we know several couples doing that. Ours is on June 3rd.
Yeah.
Little hey to the June 3rd.
Yep.
And then June 6th, another birthday boy in the family.
Yep. Carson's birthday.
Yeah.
He'll be 25. Oh, man.
Speaking of 25, I want to talk to the 25-year-olds today.
Okay.
It's funny, you get a certain couple in your mind, right? And like the demographic, you get this couple, and I've been thinking about a lot of 40 and 50-year-olds, in their 15 to 25-year marriages. And I realize we haven't been talking to the newlyweds or the engaged, almost married, to-be weds. And so we want to talk about some of that stuff. I was sent by a really, really good friend, good dude. He sent me a podcast to listen to about couples who are feeling all the things, all the stress and anxiety from transition, from moving to changing jobs, to being engaged, to getting married, to maybe having kids, and how stressful that is, and how it can keep you up at night, just ruminating over all of the options and should I do this? Should I do that? When to do this and when to do that?
Information
and
out
man,
there too.
And just the stress, and then how to build resilience around that, and how to mitigate the effects of stress in your life, and maybe get past the anxiety. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today, and I haven't gotten all the way through that podcast. I think it was a good discussion. The guy was giving some good practical tools, not just, hey, this is the deal and we're all screwed because we're on our phones and it's giving us anxiety and blah, 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 blah. But it was like, here's some tools. One of the things I think about a lot is so if you got a lot of transition in your life, a lot of uncertainty. So the world feels like a very uncertain place. And you can talk to old people and they can say, man, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything's cyclical and it's been like this before, and don't worry. But then the youngsters will say, no, it's different. It's way different. And there's some of us that can see, this feels different for us in our lifetime. I mean, with the onset of AI and just the uncertainty around, let's say, job opportunities and the economy, just what's going on and how AI is going to be replacing. I've heard lots of discussion on that. Obviously, most of us have. Some people tune it out, and some people think that's a good thing. Hey, human beings, like, some people think it's taken away our purpose because we like to create. And if all the creativity is gone and, or our purpose, working and creating things, then what are we going to do? And people talk about UBI, universal basic income. But then if people have those basic needs met, some people think they're going to sit around and be lazy. Other people think they'll be freed up to do things they really enjoy and want to do. So just with that discussion, there's so much uncertainty. And so one of the things when you're faced with, do I marry the girl? Do I move? Do I take this job? Do I change jobs? Should I start the side hustles? Should I quit this and start a business? There's so much that goes into that. And if you're always worried about, well, what if, that can take you down and get you into that analysis paralysis, right?
Yes.
So one of the things I like to do is play the wrestle it all the way to the ground game. And what do I mean by that? So let's say we've got some trees that need, like, they're falling down. We have lost several trees because of the drought. I know this may seem like little potatoes, but small potatoes, but like, we've gotten some bids that are way, way up there for, trimming trees and then getting rid of trees that are literally a danger, like a looming danger for our house, like destruction on the roof and dormers and stuff on top because of tree limbs that have come down. One of the trees dead. Some of them have fungus and they look like they're dying. And we've lost 4 or 5 huge, huge limbs in these last storms and the wind. And so do you cut them down or not? And do we pay the money or do we just roll the dice? And, a lot of people would say just do what's prudent and be wise and just go ahead and cut them down. But just taking this for instance. And so what if you just said, well, what if the tree falls? Okay, then what? So what? So wrestle it to the ground. Well, what if it damages the roof? Okay, well, then what? Well, what if, it costs us a ton of money to fix the roof? Okay, well, then what? Well, what if our deductible is just, just going to bankrupt us? Okay, well, then what? Well, what if, our insurance rates go up? All right, then what? So when you just keep going all the way to the bottom of those things, sometimes it just feels so daunting and so scary, like this could be catastrophic, right? But if you take it all the way to the ground, pardon the pun, it's like, okay, so at the end of the day, are we alive? Do we have a home? Do we have shelter? Do we have food? So what's the worst case scenario? And take it to the ground. It's not like, let's get rid of the worst case scenario, which is great, right? But what if the worst case happens? And then what? Like so what? Get to the very bottom. And can you sit with the uncomfort of the thought of what if the worst case scenario happens? Then where are you? Are you alive? Do you still have people that love you? Do you still have people that you love? Are you healthy? You could take it into the health realm, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, what if you got a diagnosis? And I hate to even think about that.
I know.
But it's the so what and wrestle the thing all the way to the ground. And what I found is when I play that little game and wrestle it all the way to the ground and realize that the things that I truly value in life are still there, I think, man, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to prioritize those people in my life, the relationships, family, kids and grandkids, our health. So part of and you've heard me say this before, but the gratitude that I have for health, that we're all alive and that we're safe. And it's like, and then it leads me to, man, God, thank you for this property. Thank you for the shelter you've given us. Thank you for my kids. Thank you for my grandkids. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my wife. Thank you for my marriage. And keep it safe, protect it. And so that can put you in a totally different mind frame from worry and ruminating over the worst case scenario to, okay, we've gone to the bottom and here we are. We're still here. The things that I care about that matter in my life are still really vibrant and alive and it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm grateful. Now I'm thanking God and just saying, thank you so much and protect us and keep us safe.
Yes.
Okay. Let me shut up. That was a long little diatribe.
Great. And you have I say in quotes, use that on me several times before. And I guess if I think about like that one, I'll call it a hack or a strategy, the wrestle it to the ground, because that's what it is. It is a life hack and a strategy to use to employ anytime you feel like you're just like, spinning around, ruminating in these negative thoughts. So what you're talking about is like wrestling it all the way to the ground. It almost seems like you're like going underneath the problem that you're ruminating in. That's the vision in my head. Like just keep going under it, and going, you know what? Okay. All right. Okay. That would suck, but you know what? It would still be okay. I would still be okay. So that's going underneath it. Another thing that you've done to help me whenever I'm in that kind of spiral or that just ruminating is you've kind of gone above the problem or whatever it is in my head. And you've said, hey, let's look at this. Like, let's rise above it. Let's look at kind of what people are dealing with today. People are just anxious, or they're hurting, or they're, they don't know what tomorrow holds. And, you bring up all these different things that you listen to on podcasts or that you have, been diving into that really just make the world seem like so big and beyond my little, and it's not little, I'm not calling what we're dealing with little, but you know what I'm saying? It puts it in complete perspective. So those two things, kind of going underneath the problem, wrestling it to the ground, and then rising above the problem, seeing it from a different angle, like, wow, there is a lot going on in the world. And it helps me to get out of my own little, I get anxious about things that are big to me at the time, but I need someone to help give me a perspective, whether it's below or above. And you've helped me a lot to do that. And I do think that that's what's helpful in talking to somebody else. That's what we get to do with people every single day in coaching, whether it be an individual or marriage. We're not right in the big smack dab middle of what they're dealing with. So we can see it from a different perspective.
Offer a different perspective. And so, I'm surprised. People say, well, I've never thought of that. And you think, wow, how could you not have thought of that? And it's not just, well, I thought of it, but it's because it's so close to you. And then if I'm talking about my stuff, they could say, well, have you thought of this? And I go, no, I never thought of that. Because you can get stuck in one little rut. It's almost like there's something outside. And and I love you said below and then above, and you could think to zoom in and zoom out. So I think about if there's just something that's outside my house, and it's a problem. I don't even want to go open the door because it's outside. And I'm going to worry about it. I'm going to think about it in those terms. Or let me go grab that thing. Let me put it on a microscope. Let me zoom in and look at that thing on a little slide under a microscope. Let me really get into it and look at it. I mean, that's so scary right there. And once you dissect the thing and get it in a microscope and see what it's made of, oh, I get it. I see exactly what this is. I now know why I'm afraid of that. I know why the anxiety's coming up, or then instead of putting it on the microscope, let me zoom way out 30,000 feet. Let me zoom out in space and look at this thing. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, two totally different perspectives. But it can kind of keep that thing
both very helpful
where it needs to sit. Yeah. A lot of times it's just I've got this looming thing. It's kind of back there and it's this back cloud. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to zoom out and I don't want to zoom in. I just kind of keep it at bay. And then it's always going to be there. Yeah. So it's taking the time to really look at it and maybe, again, share with someone what you're thinking instead of just getting up at night and walking around pacing the house, while you're not sleeping.
Because the longer you hold it in and keep it to yourself, it does become bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you can share it with someone, just being able to verbalize it, it helps to remove the power that it's had, kind of that hold that it's had on you in the middle of the night or, whenever it keeps you.
So if you've got,
occupied.
let's say, finances are such our economy and finances that a lot of people are struggling, and it's like, hey, we know what it means. So you own your own business, and you've got, you're giving away 40% of your work, and because of people who are sponsoring and donating to your ministry. It's like, how long will this last? Man, I don't know, right? I don't know. So you could sit there in that worry right there and say, man, I don't know, and that uncertainty is going to kill me. And you could even say, well, then what am I going to do? Am I going to have to go get a job? Am I going to have to do a side hustle? Are we going to have to close the doors of our business and go do something else? You could take this. So play the what? Okay. So let's say I had to get another job. Okay, then what? We wouldn't quit doing this. We would just get another job. All right. Well, easier said than done, man. You know the job market and you're an old dude. It's like, just think about how that takes you out of enjoying the present moment. And here you are, you've got your ministry, you're doing this work and you love it. Instead of having that joy, you're caught in the fear loop of that uncertainty. And once you play the little, let's put it on the microscope. Okay. All right, maybe we get a side hustle. Maybe we get another job. And now maybe the creativity kicks in of, oh, you know what? We've been kind of wanting to change our schedule anyway. Maybe we start seeing couples at different times of day, and then possibilities open up for all kinds of things, right? So.
Yeah. I think it's so wise, because my tendency is to put my head in the sand. Denial is not just a river in Egypt, but I just pretend that that's helpful. Like, let me just not think about it, and it's just going to naturally work itself out. Okay, sometimes that does work. But also there are times that it's not helpful for me, because even though I think I'm putting my head in the sand, it's still in my gut. Like it's still got some kind of hold on me, because you can think, oh, I can compartmentalize with the best of them, or I can, I'm at peace with that. I'm just going to let the Lord handle it. I'm okay with, but really and truly, it's really got a hold on you. And so I think when you can just pay attention to it, don't give it more attention than it deserves, but don't give it no attention. I think when you live in reality and say, you know what? Yeah, this is something that I'm going to figure out. Yeah. I think that's when, and you dive into it and you figure out, go below it, go above it. That's where resilience is born. Yeah. It's not really resilient to say, plug your ears up, la, 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 la. I don't hear you. I don't see you. It's no, I see you. I hear you. I know this is an issue that I've got to figure out. And, talking to somebody about it, getting different perspectives, using what we're talking about today and kind of counseling yourself through something, I think is so helpful in building resilience.
And I want to go back to, because I thought I'll be a little vague, but I want to go back to very specifically. So I just told someone, they said how, we had this board meeting recently, and our board, we were sharing with them how things are going. And we feel like 2025 and 2026 so far has been the best couple of years of our entire life. I mean, the last 3 decades. I mean, as literally we're just having the time of our lives. Now, you could say if you're living year to year in a ministry and you have no idea, and people that own nonprofits, they get what I'm talking about. And like, you're always trying to, raise money and you're doing the business too, and you're trying to do the ministry, but you've got to, take the business part and really look at it. But you could be worried about that. And for me, and for a lot of men, the fear becomes anger, right? Or you could say, man, thank you, God. You've given us this opportunity. And then instead of the worry about, oh, what would we do? And that, what would we do? And when I said, we may have to get another job. Instead of dreading, man, would we have to stop our ministry? No, God's given us this ministry. We're good at it. We love it. And let's say, the way we were, just couples just running out of our ears, day in, day out. And all of a sudden it starts, wait, where are the couples right now? They always come back. It's kind of like, boom, here they come. But if it did dry up, when I said, It could spark some creativity. Okay, wait, I've got some time now. And what are your other interests? Man, I've really been wanting to start this YouTube channel. I've really wanted to add some things to our podcast. I've really needed to do this. And so that time, instead of dreading the quote side hustle, you say, wait, I've got some other passions. God's gifted me in this. He's given me an opportunity to go. And all of a sudden, money's not even an issue. You're working and you're getting compensated or monetizing something that you really love to do that you wouldn't have done if you would have stayed in your, we're busy, and we're worried about donations.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You get stuck there. So I would just say one of my things is being excited about the opportunity that worry brings. So if worry comes in your life, what is it you're worried about? And then turn that into, when I say this, like literally turn it into an opportunity. For me, it doesn't just lead to the gratitude. It leads to creativity. Yeah. And so one of my I'm going to say a few of them. So when I wake up in the morning and I say, I am more than my thoughts and feelings. I'm the manifest presence of God in the world. So that's recognizing the New Testament theology that God lives in us. The Holy Spirit resides in us. And so do you believe that or not? Do you believe it? Yeah. So it's going to test your faith. It's going to test the trust that you have in God. God is my provider and sustenance and has already given me everything I need for abundant life. Do you believe that? Say it again, and say it every day until you believe it. God is my provider and sustenance and has already given me everything I need for abundant life. Money, nor the fear of lack of money, will guide me nor influence my thoughts, feelings, or emotions. When I say these, a lot of people say, hey, can you send me those? Yeah. You can write your own affirmations based on kind of where your uncertainties or where your worry or anxiety or fears lie. When I say my body is the temple of the Holy Spirit and will be treated as such, any symptom speaking to me about any area out of alignment will be given immediate attention, and divine healing will bring me back into complete health, wellness, and wholeness. So it's not being worried about something. Hey, a symptom shows up in my life. I'm going to address it. God's going to show me something. It's actually grace and mercy that he showed you the symptom. When you say, man, I'm a dang good wedding officiant. Man, we're a dream team of marriage coaching. When you say these out loud, thank you, God. God, you're the initiator and the sustainer of long haul marriage. Thank you for the opportunities and thank you for the support. You're going to bring donors and support out of nowhere, springs in the desert. Like, do you believe that stuff? And if you believe it and you say, well, yeah, I'm supposed to believe it, or I kind of want to believe it, start to believe it and start to trust that, and then it will manifest in your life. And so I'm just telling you personally, I was always, finances and the fear of lack was always my Achilles heel. And now I'm living with a heart of abundance and a trust in the Lord's abundance and his provision. And now that's manifesting. And it's so cool. It will manifest in your attitude, in your spirit, in your creativity, in your seeing opportunities in front of you, praying, God, show me the next opportunity and I'll say yes to it. And it's so cool when you don't, you're not holding on to fear, I got to say no, because that's not going to pay me. Say yes and see what it leads to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have watched those affirmations change you. I've watched you become a different person, a different man by just saying those to yourself, and I know there are days that I say my affirmations in the morning, and there are some times that I say them with gusto. Who uses that word? And then there are other days that I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Like I'm just saying them because it's part of my morning routine, But most days I really can say them, and I try to focus on that, saying them out loud and saying them with feeling like I believe them, because I do believe them. There are days that I'm I'm kind of trying to talk myself into believing them, but most days I've kind of gotten into the habit where I say them and I really, really believe what I'm saying. But I have watched those daily affirmations change you? And I would say, I do feel like it's really good for people to kind of wrestle with their own affirmations, kind of take it to a journal or a piece of paper and just have some quiet time to think about, like, what are some things that I want to move towards? What are some things that, man, have a hold on me that I don't want to have a hold on me? Where are some areas that I suck and I don't want to anymore? Where are some areas that I want to grow in my character? And wrestle with those and write them and rewrite them. But also, if Brian, if you shared some of those today that people are like, man, that hit me right where I'm living, and maybe they want to hear, I'd say reach out and you send them to, to them.
You know what's cool? So zooming in, it may be that, okay, hey, look, I've got some passions and there's some creativity and I'm going to do this. And somebody said, well, that works for you. Maybe you've got some talents or some gifts. We all do. And there's that passion and that gifting and that competence. If you can, find those the intersection of the passion and the gifting. And even if you don't think it can be monetized, because some people say, well, it sounds great if you could make money at it. Even if you don't think you're, quote, making money at it, you start doing that and see what that will turn into. But then a zoom out perspective could be this. When you're worried about finances and about, well, what's going to happen? And man, you could be listening to social media and hear all about the crappy economy, the crappy job market, and literally be petrified. Or you can say, man, God, thank you for gifting me. You've given me a passion. I've got a willingness to work. I've got a brain. I know what I'm good at. You're going to give me something. Forget about everyone else. You're going to, and by the way, I've been worried about this before. What happened at the end of that month? Did I miss any meals? Did I go homeless? Was I sleeping under a bridge? No. So that zoom out is, I've always been well taken care of. Zoom's way out now. You know what? We're in eternity. Eternity's already begun. We just switch bodies, right? God loves me and we're well taken care of forever. So enjoy the ride like it's an adventure. What's going to happen next? Where's he going to send us? What are we going to do? And if you can just have a joyful, literally a joyful spirit looking forward to that, I think everything changes.
Yes.
Again, you haven't missed any meals. You're not homeless. And you may say, some people out there, oh, well, you don't understand. I get it. I've seen people go through divorces and they're single moms and now they're moving out of their home and they're looking for apartments. And I mean, guys who are out of work for a year and they get depressed. I get it. I mean, literally, this is life. But there's another way to be, and there's another way to approach that.
And we've gone through incredible seasons of, and when I say incredible, I mean horrible seasons of loss and grief and depression and financial struggles, marriage struggles. So it's not dependent on whether, well, easy for you to say, look at y'all, no. Like, we have gone through many seasons where we've had to get it from the gut, so we understand that.
And I've seen anger. You've seen anger. We've seen depression. We've seen lack of motivation. We've seen fear, gripping anxiety. We've seen that, and depression, and then getting resentful and even bitter. And now it's like, okay, can we choose to live another way? And I would submit to you. I mean, I know there's certain months they were the same financially, but I look back and see, was I angry because of fear the entire month and made life miserable for me and everyone around me? And then what happened when I chose? Nope, I'm not going to worry about it. I literally am not going to worry about it. And when you say easy for you to say, try it. I'm just saying try it because, and I appreciate you saying you're seeing the difference. I'm feeling the difference. It's like, wait, if I'm going to end up the same at the end of the month anyway, and those months turn into a year at the end of the year, did I miss my year in worry and fear, or did I have fun? Yeah. And here we are. And it's like, what if? Okay, well, what if?
Yeah.
What if things totally change? We were doing something for 26 years. And I told you after those 26 years were done, and I thought that was going to be like the end of my life. I was going to die doing that. It's like God gave us something brand new.
Like, wow.
And we've had more fun than we've had in the last 2 decades, 3 decades, whatever. And you can talk about the pivot or, the forks in the road, and God brings you these seasons and all that. And it's literally, we always have a choice. That's it. And it's a mindset and it's a perspective. So be transformed by the renewing of your mind about whatever situation you're in. And so I just kind of wanted to talk again, the uncertainty that's there and all the transition. And man, the kids, man, these 20s, they see, and a lot of them feel like, man, they've been screwed, and look what y'all handed us, and look the state of the world, and good night. How are we ever going to move forward? And so just instead of that, how are we going to move forward? I would start saying, first journal it, write it down, spend some time every day in your journal saying, God, you're going to help us not just survive, but thrive. You're going to provide opportunities for us. You want us to have a healthy marriage. You want us to have a healthy family and not be afraid to have kids, not be afraid to raise kids. Show me where the joy is in that, and show me where the opportunity and the adventure is in that. And start writing those out and then say them out loud.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised at what begins to manifest in your life. Yeah.
I think
you're co-creating.
Yes. Co-creating. I love that word. And what that reminds me of is that we all have so much more agency and ownership in our lives and our attitudes and the kind of the posture of our heart. We can all decide, it would be kind of natural maybe to wake up and be like, oh, I'm tired, and you're just sludging through your day, and I got to go live on coffee and energy drinks, and man, life sucks. I mean, we've talked about this in our podcast a lot. You could totally wake up and in your journal, write 10 things that suck about today, about your life, about the state of the world. You could write 100 things, honestly. And guess what every day, if you woke up and wrote those things, that's what your focus is going to go. I mean, that makes me just shrivel up inside thinking of if that's what your focus is. And I think so many times people do walk around in life like that, but it doesn't seem real because it's all in their head. That's ridiculous to think someone's going to sit down with a journal and write 10 things that suck about today, about your life. Most people are really not ever going to do that, but guess where they're living? It's living in your head. And those are the things that you're ruminating over and over. So pay attention to those thoughts, because those are the things that are going to rule your day and rule your life. And so I think we have so much more ownership than we know of controlling those.
I think about young parents and we see the looks on their faces when they start hearing our testimony of losing Corbin when he was 2. And I get it. And the worst fear of a parent. And you could say, well, I mean, don't fear that because God's going to protect your family. Well, we know the reality. Sometimes kids die. So what do you do with that? Well, again, look at us now. And I'm not, man, God bless anyone who goes through that. And I pray, man, God forbid that to happen to any parent listening to this. But here we are, not surviving, but thriving. It's like even that. When I tell you, I pray for protection of this property. I love it. And these storms, man, it's just this wild weather. And what's happened? It seems like it's ramping up. And man, tornadoes and these. I mean, yes, we have a storm shelter, and I talk about going down in that storm shelter. And what if we walked out and this thing was a slab, like our home was gone? Obviously, that would suck. I hate that. But instead of this dread or this fear and my white knuckling holding on to this, it's like I know now in my mind, okay, where's the next adventure? Again, not minimizing that. I can hear somebody saying, well, yeah, Brian, just wait. People who've been destroyed in mineral wells or in Granbury or the latest, whatever. I mean, tornadoes every day, everywhere. I get it. And my heart goes out to people who are in that catastrophic shock, total destruction, catastrophe. And now they're in the rebuilding phase. But if you know that you've got someone with you that's going to rebuild and you're going to be okay, then it's just a different mindset. And so, the preparing a table before me in the presence of mine enemies, it's like, and I'm not saying everybody around you is your enemy, but there's a collective consciousness. And when you're on social media or you're on the internet all the time, you're going to see the collective worry, the collective anxiety. And the kingdom is right here. It's inside you. It's like, it's all around you. So it's not just like, oh God, will you create me this little heaven where none of that happens? It's like, is there a choice to live in the kingdom, even in the midst of all this crap or potential crap?
Yes.
And what I'm saying, I just thought, if I believe that, I'm going to try to find that.
Yes.
I'm going to try to access that and live in that.
Yes. Help me to tune into the frequency of good. There is good all around. There is evil. There is yuck all around. Help me to tune into the frequency of good.
And let me tell you complimented me. I want to tell you what you've taught me.
Okay.
It's because I used to get actually resentful when there were real world problems. And again, I am listening to the podcast and I'm seeing what's out there, and you're in you've got your head buried in the sand and you look like an ostrich over there, and okay, you can be in denial, all you want. It's like I was almost resentful that you weren't more anxious or more worried. And it felt like it was invalidating. So on the one hand, we feel valid when we see all the people out there. We connect with that. Oh my gosh, they're worrying like me. I found my people, because we get it. And we're all, or you can say, but I've got to get out of that. I see a Jamie over here who's just choosing, I'm going to be joyful and I'm going to just have fun. And I'm going to just know that, you know what, whatever que sera, whatever will be, and God's going to get us through it. And so I just thought there's another way. And I thought it was maybe denial or even irresponsible not to be worried. It's like, hey, babe, come on. But when you showed me, you can operate with joy. And what will manifest most of the time in your life when you're operating with a spirit of gratitude and joy. So thank you for kind of leading the way on that. I just thought, I got to try this and I got to find it. I've got to access it, because I just don't believe God was wasting his breath. Jesus wasn't just saying these trite cliche things. He was saying some very bold, like anti-collective consciousness stuff. He was saying there's another way to think and there's another way to live. And he said, broad is the way that leads to destruction. And many find that. Narrow is the way that leads to life. And few find it and few enter that. And so I'm just, it's like, man, if there's a way to enter life and life abundant, I want to find that.
Yes.
Like I came that you may have life and live it to the fullest, right? Yeah. To the abundance. And so, and I teeter on even saying a lot of this out loud, because that can sound like the health and wealth gospel in Christianity, which I abhor. But it's just believing that God's got your back no matter what. Yeah. Well, and he's in you. He's living, he's chosen to manifest in you in this current circumstance, in not everyone else's life, in your life.
Yes.
And so are you going to be swimming upstream, or are you going to raise up your legs in your inner tube in the lazy river and just go with the flow?
Right.
So it's living in the flow and trusting that the flow is something that's really good from God, and that when you're in it, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's a really good visual. And I've teetered on, I've kind of allowed myself to move into that negative place before. Like, okay, you know what? Let me really start diving into some of these, like, just more things that kind of pull me into not reality. Like I want to kind of know what's going on around us. I really don't want to be an ostrich, but I also know my limits, because I've gone there before where I just kind of allow myself, you know what? Maybe let me just test it out. Let me just start to, and I kind of let some of those, Pollyanna positive thoughts go, and just kind of start, like, what does this feel like if I were to live with a more kind of realistic and even teetering on like negative perspective? And I watch what happens to me, and it's kind of scary. And so I had that thought of, man, I really feel a strong responsibility to bring that to our home and to our family. And as a mom, I'm like, I want to help set the tone for a joy-filled home. And I know we both want to do that for our kids, you know, and so not raising a bunch of, you know, nimwits who are in denial that don't understand what's going on around them, but also, like you said, living with the reality of we get to choose our thoughts every day. If thoughts are things and you're in a store and it's the thing store, you're walking around, you're looking at the shelves, what thoughts or what things are you going to choose to purchase for the day? That's what you get to do every single morning. What thoughts am I going to keep close to my heart today? And I've teetered on the, like, well, let me go down that path a little bit, see what it feels like to be more. And it's scary for me. And I don't think it was super great for our home.
And you're not delusional. You're not buried your head in the sand. You're not dumb. You get it. And you, like Brian, you know, like when I was trying to convince you, you need to worry about this. If you don't know, you need to be up to speed on this. And you're like, Brian, I know that's out there. I'm choosing something else. I know me, and I know it could take me to bad places. And I've appreciated that about you. It's like, man, like Brian, I don't even need to be your sounding board on this, you know? And I've learned, let me take that, any kind of stress or anxiety or worry about the real world, quote unquote. I mean, it's tough, man. And we're all hanging by a thread. So what am I going to do? And I go take that outside, and I'm going to sit in silence, and I'm going to be in nature. I'm going to have my feet on the ground. I'm going to do my breath work. I'm going to do my affirmations. And I'm going to come in with a different mindset then when I talk to you, not needing to convince you of the sky is falling and how bad it is, but how, you know what? We're going to love the people in our life. We're going to receive the love. At the end of the day, you know, we can't take any of this stuff with us, right? And we're going to enjoy the days we have. Yeah. Doesn't mean there won't be a diagnosis or something couldn't happen out of the blue. Like, again, we understand more than anyone, as much as anyone, the realities of those situations. But in the meantime, like right now, we're going to choose joy. And we'll worry about that stuff later.
Okay.